In this video, we are just going to explore control flow statements in Python programming language. So wherever or whatever may be the programming language that you are learning, there is a situation which will make you to go under a certain condition. So we may need to write a block of code or a single line of code, or we may need to execute a block of code when a condition is met in a programming language. So for that kind of situations, we may need to use control flows in our program. So basically control flows are useful for executing a block of code or a single line of code under a certain condition. So basic three types of control flow statements available in Python are if, elif and else. And the syntax goes like with a colon and a indentation. So indentation is a very important thing in Python, as like in C we have curly braces, we have indentations in Python. So if you are writing a block of code inside a if block or else if block or else block, you may need to provide a particular indentation, and you want to follow the same indentation for writing a block of code inside if, elif or else block. And after each if condition, else if condition and else, you may need to give the colon. This is a basic syntax of if, else if and else control for statements in Python. And if condition syntax goes like this: if followed by the condition and colon, and below that you may need to write the block of code that you want to execute when the if condition is true. And for the coding lines, you may need to provide a uniform indentations below the if condition. And else if else condition goes like this: you can see else colon, it will not have any condition, and else is only used if the if condition is yielding the result false. If the if condition is false, else will be executed. So you cannot write the else alone, but you can write the if condition alone in a programming lines. So else colon, below that after the indentation, uniform indentations, you can write on the coding lines. And if you want to add a few more conditions to the program, you can use the elif condition. So if condition coding lines, elif condition colon coding lines, and if all the conditions are false, you can write down the else for executing something else. That's it. So else will be at the last, remember that. And let's jump into the Jupyter notebook for exploring more about this control flow statements in the Python. So to be in the basic form, I'm just going to write like if, and as soon as I type if, you can see this is highlighted in green, which means that if is a keyword in Python. So if true colon, and as soon as I give enter after this line, you can see automatically the indentation has been generated, which means whatever the lines that I'm going to write now will be available inside the if block, and it will be executed only when this if condition is true. So by default, I'm making this if condition true by writing true right over here. Now I'm just going to print OK. Now I'm executing these lines, shift enter. You can see OK has been printed. Now when I make this false, this will not be printed. So this is the basic functionality of if condition. And let's explore else condition. I'm just adding another else below this. And as I said, you cannot write else alone, but you can write if alone. So else part will be written only when there is an if condition above. So else I have printed not okay. Now when I execute this, not okay gets printed. That is meaning like if this if condition is false or returning a false, this else condition will be executed. This is the basic thing. So instead of this false right over here, you can write down the condition, whatever the conditions it may be. If 7 greater than 5, it is true. So when I execute this, I will get OK printed. That is if condition is true. So I got the programming lines inside the if block executed. And when I write like 7 less than 5, this is false, we very well know. So this will be skipped, and whatever inside the else block will be executed. That is not okay will be printed when I execute these programming lines. So this is the basic operations of if else block or control flow statements in Python. And let's take an example for understanding if, else if, and else block together. Now I'm just going to write like mark is equal to 50. I'm just defining a variable mark is equal to 50, and if mark greater than 90, I will print a plus grade. If mark greater than 50, I will print pass, and else I will print fail. So now when I execute all these lines together, we very well know the mark variable is holding the value integer 50. So this will be failed and this else if will be failed, and if all these conditions above the else is failed, the else block will be executed, printing the string failed in my output. So when I execute this, shift enter, I got fail because mark is less than 50. When I make mark 51, this else if is true now. You can see 51 is greater than 50. So I will get this pass printed. That's it. And when I try to make the mark to be 91, when I execute this, I got a plus grade, meaning that the if condition is true, else if and else condition are false. So this is how you can use these if, elif, else statements or control flow statements in Python programming language for various applications where you want to meet a particular condition or a certain amount of conditions in your program. So that's all I want you to know about control flow statements in Python programming language in this video. I hope you learned something new in this video. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.